Run Congress Committee chaired by Arnold Tanzer, a Marketing Committee by Billy Gallagher, and the Education Committee chaired by Ed Leonard. So we have some great committees, and of course the Master Chef Committee chaired by Reinhold Metz. And these committees have been working extremely hard and have essentially taken our vision, as you see it here, and I'm not going to read that, except to say that when you have a vision, the only thing that gets done is what gets measured. So it's measurable results and aspects that we're looking at. And focus is the key. The board's vision is all about identifying the needs of the members, setting the priorities, creating the focus, managing the process, and monitoring the results. You all know we talked very early on about the commitment to chefs, and that we hopefully, as different requests come in saying, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, we're in a position to say, if it doesn't meet that criteria, we shouldn't do it. We spent, quite frankly, far too much time talking about procedures and bylaws and all these, I can't call it nonsense, but it's close to it, and very little time about cuisine. Now this has changed because now in the new Congress format, as we have it here, as we had it before, we have a lot of food demonstrations, a lot of knowledge that is being shared, because we have that knowledge within. So that commitment has been met. That commitment has further been met by the fact that we have the Global Chef Competition, by the education aspects that we have been featuring. Hospitality. Hospitality is really something that we should share with each other each and every day. We are in the hospitality business, and we all know that a smile, going out of your way, doing something for somebody, is worth a lot more than anything else almost. And we should not forget that. That is our business. Education. We have launched some very, very important educational initiatives. And you will hear about that later on. You hear about certification, you hear about MasterChef, you hear about train the trainer. You hear about all these things. And food. Food again is something that we hope to feature during the congresses, so that we get immersed in a different culture as we are being exposed to here in Dubai. And some of the dinners that you will be partaking will feature regional cuisine. And so we hope that you go back home and you're able to say, I learned something here. I come back with more knowledge than when I came. Because that knowledge you cannot pick up at home. You only can pick that up if you actually attend a seminar, a presentation, a demonstration. And then you can talk to the chef about it, because he's your colleague. And social responsibility. As chefs and the reputation of chefs grows, so grow the expectations that others have of us. This issue of social responsibility is crucial. It's very, very important. Why? Because we are here a big brotherhood, and we are here to help those less fortunate, those that are afflicted by a catastrophe, such as Katrina, such as the tsunami, most recently Myanmar. And we have reacted to that. We already have sent an initial contribution to a contact that will help us identify a good project that WACS can support in order to help the people of Myanmar. We already have taken action and moved ahead on that. We were in a position to fulfill a request from Cuba to help with a culinary school. And when I talked to the president before this dinner, the meeting started, he said, you know, we very much appreciate that WACS has come forth with a little contribution. And he said it was much more important Not necessarily the amount of money, because it wasn't much, but the idea. The idea that WACS will stand by its members, will help those in need, and will help promote cuisine. So this issue of social responsibility is a real one that we all need to understand and that we all need to practice each and every day as individuals and as an organization. Now, what is it that we promised 4 years ago? And what are we delivering today? That's the question. And I need to say one thing so you really understand. As we talk about the past, I want to be sure you understand that when we talk about the past and we talk about the present, talking about progress is not a condemnation of the past. We're building on the past. We're not condemning it, we're building on it. And this building block will go on, and it goes from one decade to the next, from one presidium to the next. Now I realize that it's probably not very prudent to make promises because maybe you are not in a position to fulfill them. But there's a good part of it, and the good part is that you make a promise, you stick to it, and you make it work. And you really measure yourself by what you have promised and what you have been able to deliver. So while it's politically not wise, it is quite expedient. It puts pressure on yourself, it gets the job done. Now, this is just a list of things that we have been doing and are doing with WACS each and every year, each and every day, each and every month. We have the Dr. Bill Gallagher's Forum and the Hans Buschken's Junior Competition. We have membership services. We have sponsor partnerships. We have culinary guidelines. We have the Congress. There's a lot on this plate. But the board felt the plate wasn't full enough. Some felt it was too full. Okay. So what we did, we developed exciting programs, not for the sake of a program, but for the sake of education, for the sake of progress. We created a value for sponsorship participation. Because you cannot just say, oh, can you please sponsor us this, that, or the other? There has to be a value. And oftentimes, if that value is connected to education, sponsors will step up to the plate because they understand that education is the very essence of any kind of progress that WACS can make. We increased sponsorship support by over 10-fold. Now, some people may say that's nothing. Maybe so. We think it's terrific. Never before have we raised that kind of money. Now, why is that? Because we created value, because people, sponsors, organizations believe in what we are doing. They think we are doing the right thing for the profession, and they want to be here to support it. They want to help us. That's why we have been able to raise that kind of money. And that's 10 times more than ever before. So now we created a number of new initiatives. Professional certification. Now the first three are all about education. Train the trainer. Certified Global Master Chef, Women in WACS, Global Chef Challenge, WACS Office. These are all important things. And they're not necessarily listed in the order of importance. They're just all there because we all needed to deal with them. And where are we today? Are we in the concept development stage? Are we in the planning stage? Implementation stage? No. We have successfully implemented all those programs through a pilot phase operation. And you will hear about that in greater detail from the individual chairs and the individual that have spearheaded those programs. So I'm here to tell you, we have completed these things. And we've done it without staff. And I get to that just a little bit later on. The focus on education is something that we hold very dear. Global certification entered the pilot program, and Ed Leonard will give you the details later on, but there are 5 countries